let's get started. I'd like to welcome everybody back to the second day of Hahnemühle's first annual Community Days. Thank you all for joining us. Today we have a special guest, Alexander from our headquarters in Germany, who wants to show you our brand new photo albums. So he's gonna go over that, give you a little demonstration of how they work. And I think it's a really nice product that everybody else will end up really enjoying. And with no further ado, here is Alexander.
Yeah, thank you so much, Travis. Yeah, you were long enough with the company to know the predecessors of these photo albums. We have two generations before this one, and I'm actually very proud and very warm welcome to all of you to have developed, but also now have the opportunity to globally launch this product. This is especially good for photographers, photo enthusiasts, channel partners, dealers in all of the wide global Hahnemühle fan community. We call it the Hahnemühle Inkjet Linen Album. And linen is the thing that is focused on, because within this talk, I will point out to some of the highlights of these new albums, the great attention of detail to the detail that we spent into the development, and also of the entire product family that goes with the album. There's also some tips and tricks to set the cover set up. I am prepared here to share with you in a higher resolution environment, actually the procedures to combine your album. And for this, we have an overhead high-res camera installed, and hopefully you can follow the details and get a full understanding and a full deep dive of what it takes to actually deal with the new album. A great deal of learning with this product and improvement came through the everyday customers' feedback from these previous album generations, and that all went into the current generation. Previous generations had, and some of you may remember, leather. And the thing of the matter was that leather is a non-vegan product, and we were approached and clients asked more and more whether we could look into a vegan alternative. And also some other reason was many frequent users wanted to be able to access the paper that's inside the album from both sides, from both ends, actually from the front and from the back. So we had these feedbacks over the years and we took them seriously, and we also integrated that in the spec of our new album. So really stay tuned with me for a deep dive into this fascinating new product. I will share a few personal photos also and how I dealt with them in the album. Some key points: these albums now, the new albums, are handcrafted and manufactured in Germany, which is unique, and they're very easy to clean, and the surface is rugged, made from real linen. So that surfaces, they come with a light, subtle linen texture, which give them the real timeless and very elegant appearance. And that's what we like to have, because they have a lot of appeal as a timeless framework and archival cover to some of the art pieces that are within them. So let me share my screen first to get you heads up about the looks, and then later on we will move on to the close-up focus, how to unbox the contents of our cover set and how to actually build the album. So let's go to share screen here for a second. All right, let's do this for a moment. All right, so now you should all be seeing my screen here. And like you see it on this combined shot, we have come up with an album set that's not only the album cover itself, but there's a couple of very useful to have accessories. It's called the Hahnemühle FineArt Inkjet Linen Album Cover Set. It's actually come in two colors. One is classic black. The classic black still has the most application, but the new one is particularly interesting. It's the sand gray, light sand gray tone color. And then I will walk you through a setup of such a album cover as we go along. Now, what's it all contain and what's it all good for? This cover set is actually acid-free, which is crucially important as we want to archive these gallery photos or whatever have we into a long-lasting surrounding. So we made sure that every ingredient, every glue, everything that's in there is acid and contaminant free. So the whole thing is archival. So you can keep whatever materials, prints in them, and also the pigmented ink don't deteriorate over time. 100% vegan. This is a stronghold function, basically, or a feature of this product. Because as you may know, since 1965, everything that we do on the mill is completely vegan. We got away from glues that had animal components in them. So we're proud to say that everything that we bring out in the market, most of these things try to comply with that 100% vegan specification. And last and not least, but very important for many of you, this is not made somewhere, but really handpicked a company that joined forces, and we handcrafted and handmade the whole set. So yeah, come with me on the journey and we'll explore a little later what's it all about. So this is, again, for fine art portfolios. It is very durable. You have choices between the cover materials in black and the light sand gray. We do have that available in 3 sizes, although we won't bring the A4 into US markets, I suppose, but it's available in Europe elsewhere in the A3 landscape and the 12 by 12 inch. One feature that we always had, and it's very important, that we can hold variable sizes of prints within those cover sets. 20 is the small, and up to 40 with the big back end. So the album is expandable and it can grow over time. And lastly, the vegan is really important, combined with the chemical freeness and the acid freeness to really combine with the materials to be archival quality. So what I will do now, I will stop this for a moment and I'll move myself onto the camera that's behind me. So you don't see me anymore, you just hear me speaking. And we hope that you can all enjoy a high resolution image. Let me just switch this camera on here for a quick moment. All right, so there we go. So now we're on my desk here. I'll put some gloves on because we always recommend to use these albums and the prints within them with these gloves. And in fact, the set of gloves is included within the album cover set. And we feel that's important to keep them stain-free and also scratch-free over the years. That's why we decided to really bring them into a cover set. What I will be going through with you is the A3 version, because it's particularly useful also for conserving images that you may have on your wall or may want to put back into archival. And so the album in A3 is larger format that allows you to do that. So let's open this for an unboxing experience. So our new linen set has a couple of things in it. Like I mentioned, there is this pair of Hahnemühle gloves, which comes very useful by browsing through the album and showing it to your loved ones, but also as a tool to when building it to not damage anything. So the glove set is crucially important. Also important in this, and this is unique in the marketplace, is we have come up with a special tooling here. It's a mini tool. It does even include a flashlight. So what it does, it helps you to set up the album and also get the pages aligned. There's a couple of bits here, and especially this straight bit, the straight screwing bit, is what you need to assemble and disassemble the back and the front screw heads. So this is your Hahnemühle tool. It comes as included in each and every cover set. So if you buy 2, you have 2 tools, but it helps you to get started, get off the ground quickly and easy. The next thing you notice when opening is the little bag here. And the bag does contain 8 different, or actually 4 different, but 8 pieces of screw component. And we will go through them as we go further with setting up the album, because there's these tricks that you may kind of consider when building the album straight and quickly. Now let me get these out of the little bag here. Well, you'll recognize there is long shafts and there's small ones. And the long ones, they're 30 millimeters, these here. And they're meant to be used when you're setting up a 40 pager, like a big album. And they can also be used for expanding a former small album into a big album. So for right now, we would put them aside as we're building a 20-page album. Then you have the small ones. So we pick to choose those first because our content set that we prepared on the printer has 20 pages. And then we have two types of end screws, basically. We have a screw type, which is built like a screw with a head. I don't know how well you can actually see this. It has threaded end and a screw head. And we have a nut, basically, a nut with a head. And now comes this trick. If you want to be setting up it in the first place, what you want to be doing is you want to actually use the screw type first and screw it into the back end of this small shaft type bolt to have your bolt set up as a function of how big you want to build your album. So this setup is good for up to 20 pages. Now we do it twice. So we have these two screws now set up and ready to go. We put them aside. Next thing that we do is we also pick and choose which of the two back end cover pieces that we pick. For 20 pagers, it's the small one. For the 40 pagers or up to 40, the big one. So we put that 40 pager aside as we can use it when we grow the album. And we get started with the smaller one, which is this linen, sand gray linen finish piece. Now we put this aside also, and we'll focus on the further ingredients of our box. So this side compartment can go out. It's loose. It allows you access to everything else that's in the bottom of that box, which is the front and the back cover, and also some intermediate pages. Included in this is a 4-language, full-blown step-by-step build instruction. 4 languages: English, German, and French, Spain. Should give you easy access, and you can also go step-by-step through these building steps as we have lined them up. And there's also some content list here for easy understanding of what's contained. So this one is your back. So the back, you will see it here in the half light, has an embossing. The Hahnemühle Brewster is lightly embossed. So this will form your back of the album. This is the album back page. Basically, I will pick this and put this down first. So this will be my back page. Further on into this content is two sand grain papers, sand gray. This is the first and the last page in your album. And the reason why we choose them is to particularly protect also the content from ambient lightings and everything else. So this will always form first and last page. So we put them aside as we have prepared the stack of contents already. And aside from that, we have those transparent so-called interleaf sheets. They're also contained and they are pre-punched. They go then finally between the pages and also between the front and the back page and the last and the first print. So I also put them aside here. And then we have the front cover, which is almost identical to the back cover, but that one goes in a different place as we mount it last. So the first thing to mount, and I hope you can see it, is this small back cover piece. And we've pre-combined these bolts. Now we push the bolts through 2 holes and we're there. Push the other bolt through. And you see how quick and easy that is. So we're set up actually to put down the stack of papers and photos that we have prepared. Now comes a main trick here. As you may have prepared a 20-page stack of pre-printed materials and photos like this stack, in past, you may have found it a little difficult to get the alignment between all these punch holes and actually those bolts done. What we found by trial and by error is if you use the access bolts that you have in the kit, those long ones, right? And you put them through the holes before actually mounting, you have this nice function that you could put that on top, basically, of the bolts that are already in there, because these bolts, they do have threads, let's see, and thereby the alignment, it's much easier without having bolts. So I will do it on this one side. I will bolt it down, and when this is bolted down here, you can just slide, maybe you can see it, you can slide the whole stack onto the smaller bolt that's underneath, and your alignment is perfect and easy. And you can do the same thing on the opposite side here. Make sure you don't leave stains or anything. That's why we have your gloves on. Now, and you're ready done. This whole procedure could be pretty tedious if you try to put it down page by page, or if you don't have any help with alignment. So we used all your feedback that we got over the years to improve this function. Now you undo that extension bolt, get rid of the long extension that was just used as an alignment helper. You bend down your back cover, basically. You lay on top your front cover page with the two holes fully aligned. And now on top of this, you're using the nut type bolts to be completing the album. Now you screw that on, and your album is ready to go. Finished. So within minutes, you have the album combined. And now you can go through some stunning prints. You can show it, you can expand it, and you can actually have real big fun with it. Now, show you something that I have put into this. I've tried a little bit with different content papers of ours. There, here, you see, that is a family photo taken somewhere West Coast, US, with my family there. The point that I'd like to make is we have different papers, content paper sets. This is made from a glossy paper, a satin finish paper. You see the light reflection. I printed the same image on a page behind it on a matte, a dual paper, or a book and album paper. Now you don't see reflections. Now, the point is you want to really pick and choose which paper of our different options that support your image, your image meaning the most. In this very case, you see the wood panels here. The wood panels have been painted. They're painted with black painted wood panels. They do have a gloss coming off of that. So there is a reflection in the image, and perfectly match it with the satin paper here, because it also shines a little. So this almost looks 100% as it used to be when the camera captured this image. So I really, really like this match, and that's why I would favor the satin paper for this very photo. Here's another one, also West Coast, US, recently taken. This is my sister-in-law riding on horseback. Now, here we have a nature scenario. We have rolling hills behind it, somewhere around Santa Barbara, I believe. And the nice pick here is we have a book and album. It's a matte paper. It doesn't shine anything because there's no objects that would otherwise require this to shine. But the colors are extremely vibrant. You have very true color representation, and to the light nature color of the underlying paper, you're supporting the lighting that's coming in. So this is probably a morning or an evening situation. So you have this half light perfectly underlined by this book and album or photo rack book and album paper. A last example of what we do. If we travel, we just came by Paris. Again, a satin finish because this fabric is shining. And you can see it here. If you flip and tilt this a little bit, the satin has a light shine to it, as had the wrapped Arc de Triomphe in Paris. So now as you go through it, you enjoy more and more what you can do it, how bright, how color real these photos and images become. And really, this is good for hundreds plus years of storage. It will keep the colors as they were, and you always have a perfect conservation of memory. And it's the perfect high-end gift for the families or members that have been part of these events and who'd like to memorize what happened. So let me close off with this album. This is how you do it, how you combine it, and how you work with it. Another small comment here, if you flip it back to the back side, now comes this additional function. You can loosen these screw heads from the back also. Say you have on the back half individual pages to exchange, you wouldn't go and unload the album completely. You would just unload from the back side 2 or 3 pages and ready, steady, done. So it's very quickly and very easy to use. And really, it's a super nice gift. Super elegant and super timeless. And on top of this, the box that came with it is a good container, perfect container. In fact, it fits right in. Now, if you want to give it as a gift, you can recombine all these little tools and all these little things that came with it. And you just close the top lid, basically, and you're a perfect gift for the next event or next family happening is finished. Super elegant. Nobody really will catch more attention than yourself, which is such a super high-end and very personal gift and gift box. So here you see how much focus on detail that we spend, how handcrafted boxes and everything else that went into it. Our perfect design gives something that is outstanding and will be never matched by any normal album that's out there in the photo gift space. All right, so I'm done with this. Give a little few more remarks. This album, again, comes in different sizes or different shape factors. This is black classic linen, and it is square. So for some images, it may be a better fit. You pick and choose. These black versions come with a Bookrim black lead page here, and then the same logic applies. There will be interleave transparent sheets and photos pages, and the whole album set is actually meant also for newborn and wedding album applications. So this is part of the big need that was sensed out there. Wedding is something where people want to have a extremely long lasting and extremely high end and high resolution memory of all these moments, and especially these linen albums fit that purpose perfectly. However, every individual may decide whether the sand gray version is the right fit or whether the very classic black is a better fit. Again, also the classic black comes with this embossing here with the rooster. You can see it on the back side. Good. Yeah, one more thing, nature photography in terms of use cases. Some people are really into nature, and this is also the perfect fit because sometimes your wall gets too small. You cannot hang all these images. So famous photographer, Werner Riechner supported this whole initiative that we had with the albums. He shared some of his great nature photographs here with us, and we're extremely proud to feature him and the album because that's a perfect fit also for these super unique nature images that take their time to actually capture, but you want to also give them the right framework to have them conserved or even shown around as a portfolio. So this again is the A3 version of linen. It is in black here altogether, and also is a nice way of showcasing artwork that you may have to third parties please make sure you wear these gloves, otherwise you may deteriorate some of the very sensitive and very unique paper surfaces. The last comment I'd like to make is that the whole album, as we have it, is a containing device for something that you may have no space for at your rooms or apartments or walls. So now you can keep all these memories alive by just not having to hang them all, because the space is limited, but you can just put them in the album and show them. While you may want to change your interior design, sometimes you can pull them back out of your albums, and it's extremely straightforward and easy. And I just picked an A3 print that I did here from the Arc de Triomphe, and just put a wider white passepartout frame around it. It's cost effective in the ways that this can be multiple times used. It will stay that way. You just need a flat or even a light framed hanging frame. And then this one would be ready to go on your walls to change your interior design. And when you're done with whatever exhibition that you may feature there, you just go backwards, vice versa. You remove the passepartout frame, you take that image again and put that with the screw holes and everything back in your album cover, and you have a nice place to find it, organize it, store it, and show it with no need for additional wall space. We have to see that these album content papers have two things. They have these grooves here. They're creased 3 times, so they bend easier than a normal paper would be. So this comes as a feature, and they're pre-punched, so they all align with these bolts here. And so you can easily take individual sheets in and out, and this makes this a living and a really, really personal gift, or something really to share memories or moments with the ones you want to share them with. One additional final thing I'd like to open here is a content paper box. From the outside, they look identical to the boxes that contain these albums, but the contents are different. In them are the, let me say, paper sets that go in the album. So with the album cover set, no real printing paper is included, because that is a free choice. You're free to choose off these 4 paper types. This is a square version here, and what's in this content paper set is 2 things, basically. It's 22 sheets here of inner leaf, transparent separator sheets in each and any one. And also there's 20 pages, individual pages here with the grooves and the creasings for printing in your printer, or you have a print service house or a print service studio that you want to have that printed at with a FineArt printer. And then you're ready to go in your personal album. So these content paper sets, I will show you the article numbers that we got and the versions that we got. This is your degree of freedom, where you can choose what is the nicest surface finish and paper fit to each and individual photo. So you may have 4 different papers in a single album, just because that one paper fitted that image better than the next page. So there's a lot of freedom and room for creative design with these new album sets. We're really proud to open up that opportunity for your creative activity and your photo hobby, and even professional applications can benefit from these portfolios, and hope to see many comments on these as we move along, and may add further papers and further accessories in and around these albums. So thanks for this high resolution setup demo. Let's move back to the other screen. I'll just share my other monitor now again. Let me quickly do this again. Now I'm back here. You can see where I actually did the demo, a live demo. This is the little studio. We have those large A2 boxes of the paper kinds that we have in digital fine art behind that. And we have the 3 sizes of the album covers also here on display. So if you find them in the store, just give them a check. We're happy to get your feedbacks. Hopefully you'll all enjoy the new variability that we bring out there. And let me wrap up with showing you some of the article numbers and availability by showing the other screen here. I don't know whether you still have that on your screen. I think you should have. It's still shared. It says so on my computer. Here's the sand gray version again with some of the details that I described. So here is the classic black version. Let me just check this real quick. Yeah, and here you got your sizes. Travis, if you can we all see those sizes now? I'm not fully aware.
No, we see your email.
Okay, that's not good. Let me just stop this for a moment. Let me check the other monitor very quick. All right, there we go. So this should do it for now. I think it's better now. It's still, oh, this is interesting. Okay, then what I could do probably, I may be able to move this. Yeah, this is funny. You may be able to anyway, hopefully you see myself now, and I can also give you some idea about what are the numbers here. Again, let me focus on the papers. So the paper that we got here is Photorec Book and Album 220 GSM. That's a white one. So those are the matte FineArt smooth version. And we have the Photorec Duo, which is also both sides. It's covered with microporous inkjet coating, so you can actually flip it once you print it one side and print the back side. In your printer, make sure that you do a protective page on the one that you want to print as in the second round, so you don't scratch it while printing. Then on the glossy fine arts, we have the Photorec Satin in 310 GSM and the Photorec Pearl. Both of them are glossy, but the coating is just one-sided. And each pack has 20 sheets of these papers, and there's 22 sheets of interleaf paper. 2 sheets of interleaf paper within the pack. Right, and let me see real quick. So here's your order numbers, the article numbers for the albums. So 10-640-001 to 10-640-007. There's actually 6 versions, like I explained. What you want to do also for the ordering of the content paper sets, which come available now, you will also want to reach out to your local dealership, Hahnemühle dealership, and also the channel partners that we all support in this, but also our own staff and sales people out there to give you more insights and maybe able to give you some more tips and tricks where to find what and how to actually combine your best photo with that album. And happy to learn as we go along in this journey with the album. It is a gift indeed that has more than 100 years of value. The archivability of these papers extends to a very long timeline, and it keeps memories alive the way they were once captured and printed and stored. So this is something that generations after the one that captured the image can still enjoy it the same way the original ones were enjoyed. It's really something for weddings, newborn, nature portraits, trips and ventures, family, friends, graduation ceremonies, jubilees, artist portfolios, so much more. It's a perfect presentation form for these high-end memories. So yeah, make sure that if you want to have further information that you download our Hahnemühle app, which is available for Android and Apple. The app gives you access to some technical tricks in order how to print and how to find studios and other places can help you to perfect these things as you encounter some difficulties maybe. And yeah, we're really, really happy that you were joining this time and hope to hear from you soon. And yeah, please give us all your feedbacks and your comments in the Q&A that we have now. And yeah, I'd like to conclude to say thank you for being a Hahnemühle fan and Hahnemühle supporters. And we really, really were only enabled to come up with this due to your continued support out there. Thank you very much. And yeah, hope to get some questions from the audience.
All right, thank you, Alexander. Appreciate your time and your very in-depth look at the albums. And if anybody has any questions, you can type them into the Q&A panel, and Alexander or myself would be able to answer them. And Alexander, you have your email shared again.
Okay.
Are there any questions we can help answer for you? If not, we will let you all go. The next session starts at 11 o'clock Central with Bettina Shearbarth, who will go over our company and our sustainability of the company as well. So if there aren't any questions, I do have a question from Helen saying, so this is not available at this time. Helen, it is available or will be very, very shortly. We are just waiting for our shipment to arrive from Germany and the United States, and it may be available in Europe already. Alexander could speak to that a little better.
Yeah, in fact, we have the A4 version on stock here. The A3 and 12 by 12 versions will come on stock within the next week or so. So the information is spread out. So it's just a couple of days before you can actually put your orders in and get in contact with our sales personnel. So they'll help you through, and you should be having it, I think, at the end of this month.
Yeah, and again, in the US, we're just waiting for our shipment to come over from Europe because everything that we get comes from our headquarters in Germany. I have a question. Is margin space for printing specified to avoid the bolt area?
Yes.
I can't speak to how many millimeters it is from metric system, but when I set up for printing the albums, it's an inch is the spacing to the score line.
Yep.
Another question. Is it recommended or not recommended to use the Hahnemühle protective spray on the prints?
Well, it's up to anybody to apply those. The protective spray does its job very well, even in the album. What I do is the spray will need to sit sometimes before it's fully dry, before I would recombine the album. So if you spray it, if you go ahead, spray it, protect it that way, just let it sit for some time, maybe a day or so outside before combining the album, so that all the components in the spray can completely cure out. And so you just have the layer to protect your prints. But it's probably a good idea if you want to keep a long-lasting image to apply our protective spray.
Yeah, and additionally with that, on top of that, with the albums being handled more so than other prints, I'd recommend the spray just purely for that fact, just to not mark them up with fingerprints and scratches and things like that.
Yep, definitely.
Any other questions we can answer for you before we let you go? If not, then we hope to see you at spray. No, Eric Blum has a question. Is the spray for matte only? Eric, no, the spray will work on our glossy and matte fine art papers. And it works equally as well on all of our digital fine art collection. And you don't even see that it's there after it dries. Another question. Do we know what the US price will be? Mark, as we don't sell direct, we don't really set the pricing, but you can go to any one of our US distributors or dealers and they should be able to get you pricing. Within this platform, we have a bunch of our dealers. There you can just click their link. It'll take you to their Hahnemühle webpage. Otherwise, any of the ones that you normally use, you can give them a call and they'll tell you what the price they would charge is going to be. Okay. Looks like we're good for now. Alexander, thank you once again. Appreciate you joining us from Germany late. Well, not so late, but into your evening. So thank you once again. And we'll jump over to Bettina Scherbarth's talk as well.
All right.
Everybody have a good evening / morning.
Thanks for joining and see you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.